And welcome to the Breslin Center in East Lansing for one of our two semifinal games as the DeWitt Panthers hope to keep their undefeated season alive, coming in at 26-0, taking on East Grand Rapids. The Pioneers back to the semifinals for the second straight year. This is Ken Delaney along with Mike Bodkins. And Mike, this is an exciting time, obviously, for basketball, and very exciting for both of these squads. For the Pioneers, back for a second straight year. They lost out last year to St. Clair Shores Lakeshore in the final game, and the Travis Conlin bucket. They want it all this year.
Oh, an exciting matchup indeed, and you really got to be excited. This is March Madness at its best. Michigan basketball, one of the best basketball states in the nation, and we have watched great games earlier today, and I'm really excited about this one. Two different styles. We've got DeWitt, which likes to run the floor, and they're going to face a very patient East Grand Rapids team. It should be a very exciting ball game.
Well, for the DeWitt Panthers, they were undefeated in the football season as well, 9-0, and then coming back now with a 26-0 run to start out this year, and they hope to pick up the trophy as well.
Well, let's look at DeWitt and how they actually came here to the finals. And the first time in the Class B districts, they defeated Perry 72-49. Then they faced Corona and beat them 70-53. Then Lansing Waverly 65-54. And then in those always tough regionals, they defeated Saginaw Novell 77-69. And then North Branch 67-53. And in the Class B quarterfinals, win 77-52.
You look at some of those scores for DeWitt, a reasonably easy time for them. For East Grand Rapids, maybe a slightly tougher time as they made it to this final round as well for the East Grand Rapids Pioneers. Let's take a look at their road to the finals. And starting out in those Class B districts, getting past East Grand Rapids, Forest Hills Northern, and Grand Rapids, Kennewa Hills reasonably easily. But then against Mason, a tougher time. Just a 2-point ball game there, blowing out Portland to the regional finals. And then just a 2-point victory over always tough Flint Beecher.
Look at those scores, Ken. This is a squad that only scored over 60 points 4 times this year. In contrast, DeWitt had only one time all year that they were below 64 points.
Well, when you've got teams like that, you've got a team that's averaging 74 points a game in DeWitt, 52 points a game for East Grand Rapids. Does it mean whoever controls the tempo wins this ball game?
Well, tempo is very important. You've got to control the ball. And I think the important matchup is going to be the point guards. And we've got Jay Lights for the Panthers of DeWitt, and he's going to be facing Eddie Hampton from East Grand Rapids. Hampton is a penetrator, and it's going to be a real interesting matchup to see how those point guards control tempo.
At what point do you control the tempo? What becomes the key for a coach to say, this is what I want to do for the ball game?
Well, East Grand Rapids knows what they're going to do. They're going to set it up, and they're going to go to the strength inside. Corbett Elsen was just outstanding last year. He's the type of kid, when you go into the paint, he's very patient. A lot of head fakes. He doesn't make many mistakes in there. So they're going to push it into the big boy. In contrast, DeWitt's going to press. They're going to go up tempo. They're going to look for the threes. They're going to run the floor. And who knows what's going to happen. Fouls might also contribute to this. And, you know, when you get to this level, when you get to the semis and the finals, it's usually allowed to be a little bit more physical ball game.
We've seen that in the other semifinals here as well. As we said, DeWitt with a 26-0 record, 9-0 in the football playoffs. That can play a little bit of a factor, too, because those guys on the football team have that leadership ability coming back and putting that in force on the basketball court.
Well, both teams have had outstanding histories athletically here recently, and this is an exciting arena tonight. We have been told that this is going to set a record for a Class B attendance semifinal. We're just about 1,500 fans short of a sellout, and quite possibly we might have a sellout.
Well, an outstanding arena for basketball and outstanding support for both of these teams. The first time in an awful long time that we've seen a Lansing area team in the Final Four, and for East Grand Rapids with their history from last year coming back as well. For both of these teams, outstanding years, both finishing first in their conference. For East Grand Rapids, they finished first in the Ottawa-Kent White Conference with a 10-2 record in the conference, 20-5 overall coming into this one. And for the DeWitt Panthers, 12-0 in the Ingham County League as they finished first as well. Outstanding coaching careers for both as well. Scott Tompkins is 40-12 at East Grand Rapids. And third straight trip to the semifinals, also with Grand Rapids Catholic Central. And he is just a 32-year-old basketball coach, one of the youngest here in the state of Michigan to go this far in the state tournament. For the DeWitt Panthers, Jim Lutzke, a 54-20 record, 3 years as coach at DeWitt, formerly at Williamson High School, where in the 6 years there, 5 district titles, including a Class C semifinal appearance in 1992 with Williamston.
You expect both coaches to pull all the strings tonight, a very important basketball game. It's almost tip-off time.
And as Mike said, a huge crowd here for this semifinal action at the Palace, or excuse me, at the Breslin Center. Let's run down those starting lineups for the squads here tonight. First up for the Panthers of DeWitt, we will look at the 2 forwards, and these are guys who will play a very crucial role. It's a transfer from Haslett High School, averaging 11 points a game, Robert Bobeda. And the other forward will be Marvin Beeland. He is 6'2". Bobeda is at 6'3". Their center is Casey Loffman, who is a defensive player of the year in the Lansing area in football. And at the 2 guard positions with 139 assists, it's Jay Lights, also averaging 11 points a game, and Jason Kreider, last year's leading scorer, averaging 13 points a game on this year's squad.
And for the Pioneers of East Grand Rapids, the returnee, they were here last year. We start with the big guy in the middle, Corbett Elsen. He's a 6'5 junior. He's tough, a good post-up guy. Then we got John Worsfold, a 6'3 senior. And then we've got Chris Vittorini. He also was an important player on last year's squad. And then the point guard that we talked about previously, Eddie Lampton. He's the person that makes it happen out in front. And lastly, we got number 22, Colin Exelby, a 6'1 junior.
And Exelby averaging 11 points a game, 15 points a game for Corbett Elsen. And also Vittorini at 11 points a game. So they have balanced scoring. And so does the DeWitt Panthers, but just a little more for DeWitt.
Well, DeWitt, as you look at the stats, I am much impressed with the fact that they have shot 59% for the season from the floor. That's an unbelievable stat. You know, you usually expect when you're in the high 40s, you're going to be really tough to beat. Well, this squad shooting a remarkable 59%. I think that means that they have to run the floor. They've got to get a lot of easy buckets.
Well, the last-minute preparations in the huddle for both of these teams in the state semifinal from the Breslin Center in East Lansing.
Take a good look at Elsen out there, broad-shouldered, blonde-haired kid. He's ready to go at it. And number 44, Vittorini, also a very strong kid at 6'6".
Elsen is 6'5", Vittorini at 6'6". And jumping center circle against Vittorini will be Marvin Beeland. For DeWitt, he is at 6'2", a very small team for DeWitt, but very quick.
Height advantage, East Grand Rapids. A lot of butterflies. Let's cut to the start.
And the tip down into the hands controlled by DeWitt. Lights, the point guard, will work it out top. The alley-oop down low. Looking for the shot, but got to kick it back out. First shot of the game, and good.
Bobeda that time, a good setup jump shooter. And they're going to pressure the basketball.
They've played man-to-man all year long when the situation is necessary. A few times they've used the zone.
And there's the zone, Ken. I think what they're saying is the inside game can hurt us. We can stop them better with the 2-3.
Lampton, the point guard, out top. 116 assists for the year. Actually, he goes cross-court with it. Trying to pack it inside. The turnaround, Vittorini won't go.
Bobeda on the board that time. Good inside position.
Let's see how they play it, being the smaller team. Nobody over 6'3" on the squad for DeWitt. And we get a whistle inside.
Referee to the scorer's table. Number 11.
East Grand Rapids
Jay Lights.
foul, 11. Lampton is first team foul.
Get the right team there. How about Eddie Lampton with that foul?
See if there's a set play. There is on the inbound. The turnaround up and in.
44, Marvin Allen.
DeWitt off to a quick start.
Beeland with a bucket and a 4-0 lead for DeWitt. Working the perimeter for East Grand Rapids. Very patient. Not a stall offense, but very patient working their offense.
And they know what to do against this 2-3.
Lampton almost loses it. Free throw. Line up. No. Hard. Rebound again to DeWitt.
Well, DeWitt's doing what they need to do on the inside. Good inside position on the boards.
Ball tipped away. Here comes East Grand Rapids. Lights tries to cut him off and does. Off the iron hard, no. Rebound tip around. The big man with the board for East Grand Rapids. Up top, Lampton. Actually, not a big score that you would expect, but averaging 11 a game. He can shoot from outside.
Just rotating the high post.
Into the paint. Look for the turnaround. The big man up. No good. Can't find the touch so far tonight for Elsen.
Vidarini was there for inside position. Couldn't hold on to it, but East Grand Rapids going to keep the ball. A lot of movement against that zone. Sometimes you attack it from stationary overloads, but a lot of movement.
The free throw line. Pull up is good. And that breaks the ice for East Grand Rapids.
John Worsfold.
DeWitt coming baseline. There's Kreider. Kick it back out. Three-point try. Long off the arc. No go. Rebound Elsen.
Staying in a 2-3. Dropping back. Two well-disciplined teams. Know what they're doing out there.
Lob it low. This is Elsen. Nice double pump.
If you're going to beat the 2-3, Ken, you've got to have good interior passing. These two kids are experienced, and that time showing what the big boy can do. One goes to the high post, and then you hit the guy on the low post.
DeWitt foul, 50. Bobeda is first.
Lampton looking on the inlet. There they go. Frazier will then dump it down low, and a good double pump there by Elsen.
Great way to attack a 2-3.
And perfect on the free throw. East Grand Rapids with their first lead of the night now, 5-4. 4:50 to play, first quarter. Here's Lights. First shot for him off the iron, no go. Rebound comes to East Grand Rapids. Lampton's going to push it up. Looked at the three. Vidarini, a little left. Down low, Vidarini won't go. Gets it back off the iron and good.
Strength inside. Great pass by Lampton.
DeWitt wants to push it now. They really haven't so far tonight. Look for the three. There's a free thrower. Neither team has fouled a touch so far.
Kreider that time with a miss. Lampton skilled with both hands on the dribble.
There's that long-range shot. Piece of it. The ball saved. Or no. Yes, it will be East Grand Rapids ball.
Well, Beeland that time tried to make that save. He didn't want to throw it right back in under East Grand Rapids' bucket. That's a cardinal sin to give him an easy chance. Impressed with Vidarini. Boy, he really looks the floor over well.
Trying to cut off those passing lanes out top for DeWitt. Here's Lampton off the iron. No good. Rebound out to DeWitt again. Good job on the offensive boards. Here's the inline move. Up, no good. Rebound out of bounds, but it will stay DeWitt ball.
Laughlin that time in among the trees, tried to get it up there, almost got it to drop.
Jim Lutz, 54-20. He's 3 years at DeWitt.
These guys always are coaching. Haven't been on the sidelines. It goes so fast in these semifinal games.
There's some inside DeWitt power. Turnaround. Off the iron, won't go. Phelan has not been able to find the mark tonight.
You've got to shoot with pressure because East Grand Rapids plays the D. They take no bad shots. Look at him pass the ball.
Looking down low again. It's up, and DeWitt again a piece of it. They want to push it now. Coming baseline, the runner up. Blocked off the glass.
Yeah, Vittorini from the backside. Kid runs the floor.
The big men with speed win a lot of ball games for you.
Well, they're attacking this 2-3. You know, they go down low, and the big boys both know how to bounce it right back out. They don't let that zone collapse on them.
High post, now down baseline. It's up off the iron, no good. Rebound, follow. Vittorini won't go. The tip around. Fought for. Elsen's up and off the iron, won't go either. Here comes DeWitt on the outlet. To the baseline, into the paint. There they go. Off the glass and good. That's how they score 7 points again.
Yeah, Bobeda that time. They look for the transition. Oh, near steal down here.
As they fly down the court, Bobeda wastes no time coming baseline, and a good, strong move under control, keeping those shoulders square to the hole.
Got to beat the big boys down the floor, Ken.
Grand Rapids up by 1.
And trapped with pressure.
Lampton, the count's gonna roll, they don't make it in 10.
Pretty obvious. The strategy is after a made bucket, DeWitt's gonna come at you. The Panthers really crawling or scratching to get that basketball that time. I think they did scratch somebody out there. Maybe a little contact.
Lights with just 1 shot attempt so far tonight.
Laughlin, he's got a big job in there. He's posting low against Elsen. Elsen towers over him.
Leading scorer at 15 points a game. Going baseline, here comes Beelan in trouble. Finds someone to dish to. Back inside they go. The turnaround up and that's in there for Beelan.
That's a good example of making the bucket under pressure. Defense was great and he was able to connect.
Pressure again by DeWitt, and they almost get an over back ball. DeWitt up now, 8-7 again.
Fans always try to help those referees a little bit.
There's Hampton, up and no good.
His offensive performance is going to be really important. He's got to stick that jumper.
They're giving Lampton the room to come to the free throw line and pump it in.
Well, they're dropping low. They're really covering the baseline, so, you know, you've got to have somebody stick it outside.
Dump it baseline again here. Off balance shot. Look at that for Bobeda.
Now, you make shots like that, you're tough to beat. The fall away.
Transfer from Hazlitt.
Makes it 10-7 DeWitt.
And the high passing gets it across the timeline. Lampton, again, they give him some room.
First quarter, quick disappearing. Only 48 seconds on the clock.
Grand Rapids spreads it out even more to try to run it down. Dump it low instead. Here's Vittorini. Nice put up.
44.
Maybe a little dance down there before he put it up. But again, the two big boys teaming up. Partnership on that bucket.
Yeah, you look at Corbett Elsen, you think that, well, maybe he might want to be the assist leader. DeWitt pushes it inside, but we've got a whistle.
DeWitt, a very slashing team. They really know how to fill those gaps and bounce pass into it.
East Grand Rapids foul. 12.
There's the shot down low for DeWitt on one end. That put him on top. And what a great shot, Bobeda. DeWitt on the inbound. It's only the second team foul in East Grand Rapids as the clock rolls down to 15 seconds to play in the first quarter.
Raybert in the game out there for DeWitt. Working the ball against the man-to-man. They got a 4-low offense.
Kreider, long range shot. Oh, that looked ugly. Rebound, flipped out. A second to play. Lampton at the buzzer. Gets a piece of the backboard, but that's it. At the end of our first quarter, DeWitt with a 1-point lead. Not as quite up-tempo as they would have liked it.
Well, you take a look at the scoreboard, it's 10-9, and that says East Grand Rapids. But, you know, they were patient. They don't make many mistakes. But, you know, they were putting the shot up. They're looking for it. They're not stalling the basketball out there.
For DeWitt, number 22, Chris Johnson.
We talked about whether the inside game would be big for East Grand Rapids, and it has. High post, low post for the big guys, and Delaney to finish it off.
Oh, you got to like the big left-hander. He and Elsen make quite a pair out there. A lot of Class B coaches would like to have two horses like that to ride to the finals.
30 p.m.
Well, many high school seniors will conclude their formal athletic career this year, leaving behind many positive memories. But a growing number of student athletes are stepping from a player's role into an official's role each year through the Michigan High School Athletic Association's Legacy Program. If you're a high school senior, you're eligible to become a game official now so you can continue to take the field for years to come. For more information about the Legacy Program, contact the MHSAA office in East Lansing. Public service message from the MHSAA and ABS Sports.
Strategies taking place now over in the huddles. I don't think things are going to change. I think both coaches probably happy with what's happening. They just want maybe a little bit better defense and a little bit better shooting.
Well, neither team exceptional. East Grand Rapids 25% for the floor in that first quarter, 42% for DeWitt. They've been able to open it up a little bit on a few of the fast break opportunities.
Well, you can see that DeWitt has the potential. They're going to make it difficult for East Grand Rapids if they start hitting the outside shot. But East Grand Rapids does get right in your face on that man-to-man. They're covering the perimeter fairly well. And the big boy, Corbett Elsen, right in front of us.
DJ Rayburn, one of the other co-captains, checking in to start the second quarter for the DeWitt Panthers, number 34.
It's the 2-3 for the Panthers of DeWitt, 26-0. They're up one starting the second quarter.
10-9, DeWitt on top. Grand Rapids with the ball.
A turnover. DeWitt's got the basketball.
Brian Grant, the big 6'3", 230-pound junior, is in there for East Grand Rapids to fill a little space.
Spread the floor a little bit more now. A 2-1-2 set against the man-to-man.
And work it coming baseline, bounce across the lane, the ball picked off. And here comes East Grand Rapids with Lampton pushing it up. This team's kind of reversing roles. DeWitt looked very patient. And now feeding down low. Here's Elsen off the glass and good. That's the nice touch he has when he extends those arms.
Everybody knows who to look for. The big boys on the baseline.
DeWitt the other way with no hesitation, but a miss there by Bobeda. And this time, East Grand Rapids with a board.
One shot on the quick transition. That's their game. Go down and put it up.
High post, look back outside again. Lampton will run it. An 11-10 lead for DeWitt. Excuse me, for East Grand Rapids. Here's the free throw line jumper, hard off the mark, but fight for his own board up strong. Here's the foul. As Brian Grant drains that one. What every coach tells you to do, follow your shot.
Yeah, Brian Grant put up the shot just right there around the free throw line, then just crashed the board. The big 230, 6'3" kid. There you're going to see it. He goes up just a foot inside the free throw line. Now watch him, he's going to get his own rebound and go right back up strong.
Hard to the right, but he came crashing through. Took Elsen out of the play.
Looks like we got Jason Kreider with the call there, number 12.
At the line, Grant gets one.
So a chance to make it a three-point play and add to the lead for East Grand Rapids.
Good
Miss.
box out by the Panthers.
And it stays 13-10 East Grand Rapids.
Low scoring basketball game.
6.5 to play in the second quarter. Here's Bobeda, looks inside, ball stripped away. The steady Addie Lampton. Down to the corner, let's see the three-point shooting. Touch, still not there for East Grand Rapids. Exelby. Back to the corner again. Now go to the inside game. Turnaround Elsen. That's good.
He connects down low. So far, it's been their passing and their defense that have really controlled this game.
And a 5-point lead now for East Grand Rapids.
DeWitt's got to find their perimeter shooting. Looking to the bench for a little bit of direction. Run the offense. Run the motion, the coach says.
From The corner, and that's our first three-pointer of the night.
Well, that'll make it happen. Bobeda that time with the three. 2-point basketball game, 15-13. East Grand Rapids. Lampton with the ball.
5.5 to play, first half. Look inside. There's a steal by East Grand Rapids, by DeWitt. That isn't the foul by East Grand Rapids.
And Brian Grant will bump you around a little bit out there.
6'3", 230-pounder.
Foul 55, Brian Grant. His first
13th foul on East Grand Rapids.
And for DeWitt.
Brian wasn't out there real long, but he definitely
East Grand
contributed.
Rapids 44, Chris Delaney.
Delaney will come back in. Grant comes out. His points put East Grand Rapids on top. Here's DeWitt looking inside. Nice seal off there by Elsen. Lights back out. Off the iron hard. There's the little guy, Lampton, with a board.
In transition, East Grand Rapids.
Now a familiar mode for them. Elsen, free throw line jumper. Vidarini, that was wide to the right.
But again, Elsen and Vidarini always looking for each other.
Elsen, what a great defensive move there, but still with a shot attempt off for Laughlin.
Well, Laughlin knows what he's doing down there. He's just at a disadvantage being so much smaller than Elsen.
The baseline, again no good. Rebound fought for, still fought for. The follow Vidarini won't go. Got bodies everywhere. And a whistle down low.
Is it over the back or is it a blocking?
East Grand Rapids foul 22.
Let's take a look at it. You make the call. Off the rim.
Worsfold with a shot attempt. Scramble in the paint. And a whistle and a foul. That goes against East Grand Rapids.
Our replay didn't take us quite to the crash there, but East Grand Rapids called coming over the back.
Grant will come back in.
He's a big body inside. We put Elsen on the bench to catch his breath.
Bobeda turnaround, gets it.
Oh, he's got the shooter's touch. A real nice release that time. Softball.
Tied at 15s. And they're able to DeWitt pressure again. Look inside, it's up and in.
45.
That's Balch, his first bucket tonight. And a 17-15 DeWitt lead with pressure again on the ball. Lampton's got to hurry. Just beats the 10-second clock. There's a whistle.
That would have been a second 10-second violation, and oh, they were struggling. Robert Bobeda to the floor and with the foul that time, crashing in, trying to get that loose ball.
DeWitt foul.
The great pressure creates a lot of offense.
Look at that drive to the paint that time, right between two East Grand Rapids players.
Todd Balch, the 6'2 senior, with a nice finish. Foul does go against Bobeda. That's his second personal.
To the ticket office lobby immediately. Thank you.
Two squads that play the game according to their style.
2-point DeWitt lead. East Grand Rapids with the ball. Baseline again they go. The shot, they're getting the shots up. But cannot get them to go.
And East Grand Rapids hitting the boards really well down here on the offensive end.
Something DeWitt did in the first quarter. Scramble for it. DeWitt with a steal. This is Kreider pushing it up.
Casey Laughlin that time, responsible for that steal.
Lights doing the offensive move himself, won't go. Battle for the board. Two players tangled up down on the floor.
No call, it's a takedown.
Lampton looking inside. There's a whistle and a foul.
I wouldn't be a bit surprised. The referee's going to have a talk with a couple players here. Real physical exchange down here on the other end of the floor.
44.
And
Vidarini, his first 15th foul.
Jim Lutzke.
Scott Thompson.
Tompkins not real happy with that last call going against East Grand Rapids. 2.5 to play, first half. And DeWitt on top by 2, but extremely low-scoring ball game for them. Back into the paint they go. With the ball loose. And finally out of the pack is Lampton again.
Physical, tough ball game inside. I think that would favor East Grand Rapids.
Fighters in and out won't go. The rebound follow won't go. Finally, here comes Lights to push it up.
He got the long board.
Lights going to take it home again. It's up. No.
Oh, he's been penetrating, has not been able to get it to drop. Then he goes to the paint, hits one high off the board. It hangs and drops, and it's no bucket, charging. Let's take a look
at it. Off with a charge.
Oh.
Lights maybe just a little bit out of control.
Well, he's not short on courage. In among the big boys.
And took out the man down low.
And your call is, did he initiate the contact?
Ball loose. Tipped away by East Grand Rapids. It's by DeWitt, that is. And here they try to finish it. Another charging foul. This time it goes against Laughlin.
A number of DeWitt players showing their frustration, and of course they would. They want to win this game. 2 buckets taken away.
Lutsky is not happy. 2 straight offensive fouls. DeWitt coming right back with the pressure, though, on Lampton. But Elsen helps him across half court. That's a big target to throw to. Still 17-15. DeWitt on top by 2. Clock rolls to 1:25 in the first half. Elsen, the outside touch is good.
Yeah, he's got a nice ball right on the front of the rim, hangs and drops.
And he is only a junior, 6'5", 205-pounder. On that state runner-up team last year as a sophomore, and a key player. Looking baseline inside, the reverse layup won't go.
Oh, nice move that time. Just didn't get it to drop. Beeland that time with the left-hander inside.
Under a minute to play first half.
A little change in strategy for DeWitt. They bring Laughlin out high. That's a good strategy because it also brings Elsen out. Now East Grand Rapids taking a look at it, saying we're going to put 1 up. We've got 36 seconds on the clock.
Tied at 17. DeWitt going for the double team.
They're probably going to charge in here at about 15 seconds.
Grand Rapids a very good ball handling team. Now they'll pump it up and nail it for 2.
22.
And that's Colin Exelby.
Shot came at 22.
He's also a junior. Clock rolls down at 9. 8 seconds to play. 7, 6. Lights out top. 4, 3. Lights in the paint. It's up. Lights it off the glass and in.
Well, he was very confident, knew exactly what he was going to do. They just made it a one-on-one situation, and he took him to the paint and he scored. No charge on that one. Take a look at the scoreboard, 19-19.
Well, certainly if you're a DeWitt fan, it's not what you expected. For East Grand Rapids, it's pretty much playing to their tempo, a very patient ball team, although it's even lower than their average for the year.
Well, we watched them last year against St. Clair Shores, Lake Shores. It was 38-37 in the finals, and 19-19, that's 38 points. I don't know, they just play great defense. They really are strategists out there, and it's probably their defense more than it is their offense, although in offense, you watch Lampton out in front. He repeatedly could take the 3-point shot or step inside and take the 2. But no, the design is go inside.
We'll see if the second half will step up in tempo for DeWitt. That would be more to their liking. East Grand Rapids would like to keep it where it's at. At the end of the first half, our score, the DeWitt Panthers 19, the East Grand Rapids Pioneers 19. Back with the second half coming up in just a moment.
If you're in high school and you want to play sports at an NCAA Division I or II school, then you must be certified by the NCAA Initial Eligibility Clearinghouse. Ask your coach or guidance counselor for one of these student release forms. Fill it out and send it to the clearinghouse. Remember, if you're not certified, then you can't compete as a freshman in NCAA Division I or II. For more information, call 319-337-1492.
And welcome back for second half action at the Breslin Center. And dead even at the end of the first quarter. At the end of the first half, that is the DeWitt Panthers and East Grand Rapids Pioneers played to a 19-19 ball game. And
now we talked about pace, Ken, and it has been pace. 19 points for each team. And it's been defense that's really controlled it. A man-to-man defense by East Grand Rapids, making it difficult for DeWitt to penetrate.
Well, for the DeWitt Panthers in that first half, it was a big night so far for Bobeda with 11 points. Beelan with 4, Lights with just 2, and the rebounding advantage certainly not in DeWitt's favor in that first half. And look at that field goal shooting, 9 of 21, but 6 turnovers in that first half, and they have not gone to the free throw line yet.
Well, let's take a close look at those rebounds, because that's the most important stat, and let's flip and look now at the opposition and see what their rebounding total is.
For East Grand Rapids, dominating the boards so far in that first half, and a big first half as well for Corbett Elsen with 9 points in that first half and 8 big rebounds. Delaney with 4 and 3 rebounds.
Total rebounds, Ken, 20 rebounds, and we also know that 11 of them were on the offensive end of the floor. In contrast, DeWitt only with 1 offensive rebound. Simply computes to the fact they're getting 1 shot at the bucket, and Grand Rapids is often getting 2 and 3 attempts.
Well, you look at the number of shots that they've taken, 29 shots attempts in that first half for East Grand Rapids, so their percentage is lower, but an even ball game at the end of the first half.
Well, strategies aren't going to change. They're just going to go strong, and they're going to ride what brought them here. And I think if DeWitt can get some of the outside perimeter shots to drop, then you're going to see a little bit more scoring here in this second half. East Grand Rapids is going to do exactly what we saw in the first half. They're going to play the big man game inside, trying to take it low to Elsen and his buddy Vittorini. They look closely for those high, low, down passes. A double post situation, high post, low post. Excitement's building. People are returning from the concession stands. A very, very packed house all the way to the top of the Breslin Center.
First time in a number of years that we've seen a Lansing area team here in the Final Four, and that's brought them out. And a huge contingent as well from the Grand Rapids area. You see this one tied at 19s at halftime and underway in the second half. And it's DeWitt ball. Lights kick it back out. Long range 3 won't go. And East Grand Rapids again with a board.
Lampton, he's the man that runs the show and sets him up out there.
Ball stripped away. Here comes DeWitt. Each team with 8 turnovers in the first half. The pull up at the other end, and there's the bucket by Kreider.
Yeah, Kreider that time. Transition bucket off the dribble, stop and shoot the jumper. That can be a tough one to get. 2-3, half-court trap.
Kreider averages 11 a game. Here's Kreider with a steal. Going to the hole. 2 quick buckets.
Big start by Kreider. Good anticipation.
And quickly, DeWitt's opened up a 4-point lead, 23-19.
A little bit different press. We set it up at half court. Don't open ourselves up quite as much. Not as vulnerable to the transition bucket.
Now back into the standard zone coming. Baseline, the block out of bounds, but we've got some body on that one. As Laughlin just came in and said, don't come into my territory.
Now, Casey Laughlin is one of those players that plays much larger than his actual size. Let's take a look. We're going to look at the steal on the other end. Here we go.
The pressure as Kreider comes for the easy bucket, so he's got 4 now. At the other end, the block by Laughlin, but a body foul, and at the free throw line, that's Colin Exelby.
A team that shoots 63% from the charity stripe during the season.
Exelby now with 5. Give him 6 as he drains them both. And it's a 2-point ball game again.
Play the net music on that one.
Under 7 minutes to play, third quarter. The semifinal. Here's Weiss, a little out of control. Bank it off the iron, no good. Rebound. Again, Lampton out of the pack with it. Hard down to the floor. Ran into Lights on the shot. Comes back, gets the board. Look at the baseline, then look out top for Lampton. Here's Exelby.
22.
Now Colin Exelby sticking the open jumper.
Short. Long range for DeWitt and won't go.
Had the great line, but just short. You could see it was short the minute that left his hand.
Lampton, look inside, off the glass, gets it back himself and then loses it. Here's Bobeda to push it up all the way down court, and then a whistle and a foul on East Grand Rapids. Their first of the second half.
Bobeda showing his versatility. He takes it off the board and down he goes on the transition. No outlet pass. He can dribble it down.
Second, first team foul, common foul.
Against the 2-3. Here's the out of bounds play. Everybody breaks and moves.
They find Bobeda, free throw line into the paint. Up and hard off the iron, no good.
Another exchange of a little physical variety out there. Corbett Elsen involved in that.
Tied at 23s with 5.5 to play third quarter.
This Lampton is totally unselfish. He knows his job. That's distribute the basketball.
To the baseline again. In and out won't go by Exelby. With the ball loose and Lampton up with it. A little pressure of their own by East Grand Rapids.
It's too many blue jerseys that time.
Looking for the big man on the baseline, and there's another one on Laughlin.
When we call those uniforms maize and blue, we hate to offend any of our U of M alumni out there.
And for DeWitt, 24, Favis.
Into the ball game for DeWitt. Tom Favis for the first time tonight. In the paint, the turnaround up, no good for Elsen.
Here they come.
Bobeda to push it behind his back, nice dribble. To the baseline, up and no good, but he's going to shoot two.
Oh, Bobeda playing like a man possessed out there. He's got the transition, he's got the dribble, and what about the behind the back at midcourt? Talented kid. He goes to the line shooting two.
We talked about the young players, very talented, like Corbett Elsen for East Grand Rapids, but Bobeda is also only a junior. Bobeda brings it down court.
Behind the back. Yes.
Stays in control the entire time. Can't finish it. And misses the first free throw. So it stays tied at 23. This one gets the shooter's roll for Bobeda.
Takes a lot of rim and maybe a little board, but drops through. Half court again. Let's see if it's successful.
Bobeda's got a dozen. Under 5 minutes to play. DeWitt with a full court pressure. Elsen's going to lob baseline. Delaney up and a charge.
The big boy, the 6'6" left-hander, took it to him, initiated the contact. He draws the charge.
East Grand Rapids foul, 44.
On the baseline, let's take a look at that charge.
Elsen again lobbing it low for Vidarini. Got the position, but bowled over the inside man to draw the foul. And that's the third team foul on East Grand Rapids. Vidarini's second personal. DeWitt up top for Lights, coming inside, high off the glass, and good foul.
Jay Lights got the call that time, took it in high off the board, very creative with the drive.
Similar play in the first half where he got the charge. This time he got his Grand Rapids man in motion, and Lights with an excellent, excellent move inside.
Just like you're supposed to diagram it. The head fake at the top of the key. He saved his pivot foot, then put it on the floor and went right to the hoop.
The little guys got to use a lot more glass, don't they? Free throws up and it's good. So a 27-23 ball game.
Almost a lane violation. We had a player falling prone into the paint.
Lights now with 5. East Grand Rapids quickly the other way, and the miss, but Vidarini is there to fight for it, a whistle and a foul underneath.
Looks like it's going to go against DeWitt.
DeWitt foul, 24, Tom Favis.
Tom Favis with his first. And that's the third team foul on DeWitt here in the second half. 4:18 to play, third quarter, 27-23. DeWitt on top. They'll work Lampton down to the corner on the right side now. And bring Worsfold up top. There comes Lampton to the top of the key. East Grand Rapids spreading the floor, then looking baseline for Elsen. He gets it on the body or on the shot? On the floor or on the shot?
Referee to the scorer's table. Bucket's good. The left-hand signal, it's good.
Foul, 40, Casey Laughlin is first.
East Grand Rapids does such a great job of working the ball into the big men. And Elsen knows what to do when he goes baseline with it.
And on the replay, we see just one time around the horn, but that actually represented the third time that East Grand Rapids had taken that ball around the perimeter in order to get it inside. Elsen good on the free throw.
East Grand Rapids pulls back within one, 27-26. DeWitt on top. Clock rolls to 3:45 in the third quarter. Try to back in on Elsen off the iron. No good. A rebound out to East Grand Rapids. Laughlin having a very tough time inside.
Yeah, tough matchup for him. I'm sure he's accustomed to taking bigger guys and scoring, but not Corbett Elsen.
Grand Rapids looking outside, inside, back outside again. Baseline jumper. DeWitt with a piece of it. Here comes Bobeda on the run again. Leave it down low. Davis has to bring it back out. From the other side, up off the iron. Ball is loose. Bobeda, the turnaround is in and out, no good. But Davis saves it again. 3 minutes to play.
DeWitt fans are up and cheering. They wanted a foul. Jason Kreider went to the floor after that three-point attempt.
Flying into his own bench. Here comes Bobeda in the paint. He's hammered.
Oh, the more I see of Bobeda, the more impressed I am. He has no fear, an excellent penetrator, and he's good. He can hesitate. He's got the strength to go inside, draw some contact, and still put it up.
Rapids foul, 44, Vittorini is fourth.
And that's the fourth on Vittorini.
Number 10, B.J. Quina.
Vittorini will have to come out, and some decisions being made there by Scott Tompkins on what to do.
I think Scott looks like he's 32 years old, and there's Jim Lutzke, the third-year coach, a record of 54-20.
Well, a great young coaching minds doing battle in the semifinal. Long range for DeWitt, won't go, but here's Bobeda again, and this one goes.
I saw Elsen behind him, still able to connect. Now with full court pressure, 2-2-1.
29-26. Here comes East Grand Rapids across half court to the baseline. And now Lampton will bring it out, trailing by 3 with 2:20 to play.
Looked like they had numbers, but we take no chances.
Third quarter. Guina has checked in, B.J. Guina. Down to the corner, it's up and off the mark, no. First shot attempt for Guina, and here comes DeWitt to push it up. Lights leaves it low, but leaves it out of bounds into the DeWitt cheerleaders.
Oh, Lights would have loved to have that one back.
Lob and low just outside the outstretched hands.
Now with pressure again, Elsen in the middle, trying to break it.
Coming to the baseline, who's going to walk?
Oh, the pressure does bother him, and they're going to talk about it. Corbett Elsen over with the timeout. East Grand Rapids to the huddle.
Exelby hanging on just a little too long, trying to beat the pressure coming across half court. And a timeout on the floor. 1:45 to play in this third quarter. DeWitt on top, 29-26. Well, pretend for a moment that you're the only person in attendance at a high school game. Would your behavior include ridiculing impressionable 14 to 17-year-olds, openly second-guessing coaches, and berating officials?
I know.
Probably not. So next time you're a
tomorrow.
crowd at a contest, act as if you were the only fan in the stands and encourage the participants in a positive manner. Remember, good sports are winners. A public service message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association and ABS Sports.
And these fans bring so many emotions to these games. A very exciting time, and it's tough to keep them quiet. This has been a very good crowd doing exactly what they're supposed to do, and that's root for the home team.
At what points did they devise face painting?
I'm not sure, but we've even seen the occurrence where broadcasters have actually painted their face. That's not for you and I. Our faces are bad enough without paint. Well, you know, they talk about the fact that DeWitt had posted signs all the way to Lansing rooting on their team. And, of course, the Panthers are here now with the lead, 29-26. Third quarter has been a good quarter for them. They've been able to transition a little bit more. They've been able to make some things happen off their pressure.
Minute 45 in the third, and DeWitt with the ball. Kreider up top. Here's Bobeda, the go-to guy for them tonight. Kreider on the turnaround. He sticks that one.
Kreider looks like a great shooter. He's been a little short tonight, but no shortness on that one.
And a 5-point lead for DeWitt.
The pressure, the 2-2-1 again.
And the pressure as East Grand Rapids loses the ball. It will be DeWitt ball.
You know, I like what I see in DeWitt. Sometimes you can measure a coach by his style, and this coach obviously has a number of different full court and half court pressures that he uses, and that makes it difficult for the opposition to adjust.
Minute 17 to play, third quarter. And a 5-point lead for DeWitt. Now they'll spread it out a bit.
Jay Lights with the ball out on top, looking it over.
If they'll play down for the last shot. A minute 5 to play. Down low for Laughlin, needs some help. Back out, back down to Laughlin with a turnaround. Up over the top, but won't go. Gets his own board and brings it back out of the pack. Looks for Bobeda. Trying to come inside, stripped away. And here comes the fast break by East Grand Rapids, and now they'll slow it down. Weinig gives it up for Lampton. Clock rolls to 40 seconds to play.
Right, facing the 2-3. They've watched it all night. Lampton.
Outside Exelby for three, won't go. Kept alive, the half court for Lampton. 25 seconds to play, Eddie in the paint, down low, gets Exelby to go up with it. And a whistle and a foul. Elsen kept it alive on the board, tip it out to Lampton, and that's where they reset and try to bring it back inside.
Lampton always looking for the open man, very unselfish out there.
Exelby on the line, 2.
Here goes Lampton on the drive. Look at that. He's just keeping those eyes open. The minute that the defense commits to Lampton, he drops it off.
And it's good by Exelby. The foul, the second on Favis.
Point guards are the heart of a basketball team. You got to have somebody set it up, and that's something that's tough to teach. It's just sort of instinctual, and Lampton's got the court vision.
Exelby hits them both, and it's a 3-point ball game, 31-28.
Let's see if they clear the floor for Jay Lights.
15 seconds to play, third quarter. Lights at half court, down to 12 seconds.
They set all 4 men low, and here comes Lights with the penetrating crossover dribble.
Working against Lampton to the free throw line, now kick it back out. Baseline, the runner-up won't go. Ball loose, East Grand Rapids with it as the buzzer sounds. And the DeWitt Panthers have opened up a 3-point lead at the end of 3. Our score, DeWitt's 31, East Grand Rapids 28 at the end of 3.
And for East Grand Rapids, 42, John Worsfold.
Certainly like to thank the communications director for the Michigan High School Athletic Association, John Johnson.
John's got to take that coat off because he's a busy man. He does not have time to stop. Look at this. He's jogging.
He said he was operating on fumes at about 10 o'clock this morning. Here we are at almost 7 o'clock at night, but John, appreciate his help with the broadcast here tonight.
Ken, it points out how many people have to work so hard to make this happen.
An exciting event, the semifinals, and a near sellout of the Breslin Center. Well, some people mistakenly call high school athletic, art, drama, and music programs extracurricular because they're conducted after the traditional school day is over. But in the total learning process, activities enhance what takes place in the classroom by teaching youngsters values they won't find in a book and providing lifetime memories. They are truly co-curricular. Support your local high school activities. A public service message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association and ABS Sports. It's a little bit of a country feel as we get ready for the fourth quarter, and it could be a barn burn.
It's hoedown time. The referee is over here talking to us. He said they're playing hard out there. He's hoping it'd be a little bit more up-tempo. See, referees also have their own analysis. This place is swinging, excitement, but the kids aren't hearing a thing. They're all grouped up in the huddle, realizing that this one quarter separates them from the opportunity to appear in that state championship game.
Went to a karaoke contest and a basketball game broke out.
Oh, I like that.
31-28, DeWitt on top by 3 as we get ready for the fourth quarter in the semifinal here at the Breslin Center. And the pressure being turned up by DeWitt on defense. Pushing Lampton out. They go baseline, then cross court. Look inside, Elsen, turn around, and good. With Delaney on the bench with 4 fouls, that's the man who needs to step up.
By design, take it to him. The good jump shooter on the baseline.
A 1-point DeWitt lead, 31-30, 7.5 to play, third quarter. Kreider out top, lights, long range, won't go. Lampton with a board.
It's a good setup. He had the open jumper.
Team fouls are 5 apiece. The bonus should be coming up shortly. Patience of East Grand Rapids, but a steal by DeWitt.
Yeah, good drop down that time.
Beelan stepped into the lane and took it away.
He was shadowing the big boy Elsen, and he was successful.
Inside, and an offensive foul against DeWitt.
Yeah, it's going to be on Bobeda. Not a lot of contact on that. With the minute that he felt the contact, a little shovel pass to his teammate. But that was the call.
Bobeda is third, 16th foul.
That's a third on Bobeda. He and Vittorini, the only 2 in foul trouble right now for either squad.
East Grand Rapids starting out the quarter, going low and scoring, making it a 1-point game.
DeWitt yet to score here in this fourth quarter. Down to 6:44 to play in the ball game. Pioneers coming baseline. The runner won't go. The follow is up, and that won't go. The tip won't go. Battle for it down low, and the official's going to have to sort that out. Instead, they'll call a jump ball.
The possession ball goes to DeWitt.
Those possession arrows can often be important in the fourth quarter of a basketball game, and of course, some of us old diehards would rather see him go to the circle and jump it up. Jay Lights on the attack.
6:20 to play.
Who do we look for?
DeWitt lead.
Do we look for Bobeda on the isolation in the drive?
He's been their game story so far tonight. Here's Laughlin trying to come baseline, give it off to Bobeda. Back to Laughlin. It's a whistle down low.
A lot of these kids on the DeWitt team know how to work the 2-man game.
Ball out of bounds on the baseline off East Grand Rapids. Kreider handed right inside there, and Laughlin fights for it but can't get it inside.
He's really struggled, and I think that they're probably going to have to go away from him. Elsen just too strong for him on defense.
Elsen, not only an outstanding offensive player, but he plays great body defense.
Very smart.
Lampton back out long and good for East Grand Rapids.
That'll break your back. John Worsfold.
And East Grand Rapids has taken the lead, 33-31 with 5:36 on the clock here in the semifinal at the Breslin Center. What a nice outside touch for Worsfold. Lampton kick it back out, plenty of room on the 3, and perfect.
And for you, those of you watching, coach is always going to say, against the 2-3, point guard's responsibility is to make the 2 guys on the top guard you. And that time, Lampton took it right between them. They both collapsed, and he just went to his left wing, and there was the 3-point. And that was a big 3-pointer. That's a real momentum swing. And the coach of DeWitt recognizing that immediately, Lutzke goes with the timeout, says, let's talk about it. He's got to come back with an answer.
The Pioneers up 33-31, 5:36 to play in the semifinal at the Breslin Center.
Elsen does a very nice job of helping out his guards out there. This press would be a lot more effective if it were not for the fact that Corbett Elsen comes right out top and helps him. The big boy just takes up the space, doesn't put the ball on the floor, and he just makes a good pass time after time.
Delaney will come back with 5:36 to play. He has 4 personal fouls, number 44 for East Grand Rapids.
And it just makes their inside game that much stronger on the boards.
The 6'6" senior to complement Corbett Elsen at 6'5".
DeWitt, as you can see, 14 of 38 for 37%. East Grand Rapids at 32%. The difference is the number of shots. East Grand Rapids better on the offensive boards.
Well below the average for the year for DeWitt. Laughlin tried to deal inside. It wasn't there. Here comes Kreider. And a whistle and a foul. Ball will not go.
Just rolled ever so slowly around that rim. That would have been a critical bucket. Let's take a look at that shot one more time and the roll around.
Kreider into the paint. There it goes.
Round and round and whoa.
Kreider gets 2.
You hit the backboard, you get the tilt.
Jason Kreider, the junior, the kid can shoot.
Here's John.
He'd be one of those kids I'd like for him to shoot for me when we go to the fair for a teddy bear, you know. He's got to touch. Those rims at the fair, they're not fair.
6'3" junior Kreider gets the second one to go.
With pressure.
And it's tied at 33s with 5:14 to play. Lampton lob across half court. Ball knocked out of bounds. Again, DeWitt pressure. 5:02 to play. Over 13,000 here to watch this semifinal game at the Breslin Center.
I thought we were going to play a little George Kell. Now, Kaline, you're going to have me guess the attendance, but you just told him.
He had it written down in front of him.
Well, at least I would have sounded like I knew what I was talking about.
Tied at 33s. A great defensive struggle so far. East Grand Rapids very patient, working the perimeter.
Yeah, they might have to come out of the 2-3 tie ball game. They're going to stay in it, but if they go behind, East Grand Rapids can do this for a long period of time.
Worsfold back up top to Lampton. And X will be down in the corner now. Bring it to the paint. Out of 4:15 to play.
They just work the perimeter, hoping that they're going to distort your zone.
Here's Exelby. It's blocked. Gets it back and kicks it out to Lampton. So all that work by DeWitt didn't pay off.
And the time on the clock goes down and down. 4:03.
Exelby again coming baseline short on the runner, and a whistle and a foul. And that could be number 5 on Mr. Vittorini. Yes, it is.
That's going to be the trip to the bench, and it's so often that is the case. He sets there, can't wait to get in the ball game and make an impact, and then he crashes from the backside, looking for that offensive board. Here we go.
Look inside. Exelby comes in. The miss, and then up over the back of Beeland. Here's Vittorini, so he will come out.
Team fouls are important here. DeWitt's going to go to the line, shooting a one-on-one.
55, Brian Grant.
For Scott Tompkins, a change in strategy. He liked the high-low play with Elsen and Vittorini in there, and now he just has one of those two. And we'll see Brian Grant come in. Free throw up and no good for DeWitt. They can't convert on the one-on-one opportunity. They're in the bonus. Next foul against DeWitt puts East Grand Rapids in the bonus as well. 3:45 to play. We're tied at 33s. And a timeout on the floor.
Scott Thompson pulling at his belt, tugging at his belt. It's tension time.
Tompkins was here last year, of course, with that East Grand Rapids team that lost in the state final to St. Clair Shores Lakeshore, but he's been to the semis one other time as well with Grand Rapids Catholic Central.
He brings a style to basketball that's a little bit uncharacteristic of the time, and that is really stressing patience and defense. And you know, a lot of times we see teams now just playing with the great athleticism of being able to do all those miraculous things with the dribble and shooting so well. But he brings a well-disciplined squad, and his record speaks for itself.
Well, the most pressure a high school athlete will ever feel is not the free throw line with a score tied, nor on a 3-and-2 pitch or on a 4th and goal play. It's peer pressure to use alcohol or drugs or sticky situations where the right choice may not always be the most popular choice. Student leadership workshops prepare young people for those challenges and to influence their peers positively. The pressure is on. For more information, contact the WBA Ruster Foundation in Sturgis. It's a public service message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association and ABS Sports.
Here we go.
3:45 to play in this one. And East Grand Rapids looking to make it to the big dance again.
And there's the defensive change. We expected this. It was going to have to happen. Back to the man-to-man. Now watch East Grand Rapids.
Tied at 33s. Here's Elsen up top. They shut him down inside.
Yeah, a lot of help
defensive
defense. A lot of help defense.
Front and back side of him. East Grand Rapids with a pull-up and good for Worsfold.
Worsfold has just been outstanding. Off the motion offense, he takes the short jumper. That gives him a 2-point lead.
35-33, down to 3:11 to play, and a boot down low. It'll stay DeWitt ball. What started out to be what we thought might be a big turnover game has kind of settled down a bit. 15 for East Grand Rapids and 10 for DeWitt.
That turnover stats somewhat evens up the rebounding discrepancy.
A big night on the board for East Grand Rapids, as you might expect. A much bigger team. No one on the roster over 6'3" for DeWitt. Here's Kreider in the paint, loses a handle, tip around. Who's out of the pack with it? East Grand Rapids. Worsfold doing the duty. The half court they go. Elsen over the line to Lampton. The crowd wanted an over and back call, but Elsen only had 1 foot over the ball, and his second foot was still in the backcourt.
Very important possession. DeWitt's got to stand up defensively.
Here's Elsen, pulls up, might have forced it.
A little bit longer. Let's take a look at those board stats. 32-19.
Here comes Laughlin in the paint with 3 jerseys on, blue jerseys on him, kicking back out. Kreider, off balance, shot won't go, and Elsen pulls down rebound number 33 for East Grand Rapids.
Kreider's going to take a look at that one and say, I should have shot the 3. I had my feet under me.
2-point lead for East Grand Rapids, down to a 2-minute mark in this game. Elsen coming baseline, blocked away. Bobeda on the outlet, the lights. The 2-point guards will do it. Get some help from the backside, and a charge against DeWitt. Eddie Lampton held his ground down low and drew the charge from Marvin Beelan.
It's a 2-on-1 break. You work on it frequently in practice, and your responsibility is to stop the ball. Lampton sort of faked it. He was going to drop off and cover lights. Let's take a look at it. Watch Lampton. There's the fake. He drops back, sets. There's the charge. Great defensive play.
East Grand Rapids with the ball and a 2-point lead. Great position by the official at the other end as well to make the call. The ball is loose at this end, and a whistle and a foul on East Grand Rapids.
It's going to be John Worsfold after the turnover. So aggressive trying to get that ball back. DeWitt's going to go to the line. They missed a 1-and-1 there earlier. You've got to make them.
Bonus on for DeWitt.
And stepping up to shoot is Jason Kreider. The Panther fans are wearing their hearts on the exterior. They need these.
The expression on the face of Jim Lutzke.
Jason Kreider up and good.
Cuts it to a 1-point lead for East Grand Rapids with a minute 32 to play, 35-34.
Signs in the stands say go DeWitt.
Chance to tie it. And he does.
Now let's see if their pressure can turn over. Look for a turnover.
16 on the game. There's the turnover.
Now they're going to call kicking the basketball, so we get another opportunity to bring it up.
Official right there.
Now they've increased the tempo. The intensity is on full bore.
Inbound goes to Elsen in the sideline. Needs some help.
Oh.
It'll look like a walk in the backcourt, but no call. Across the timeline they go. Elsen will give it off to Worsfold. Down to a minute 12 to play. Tied at 35. Here's Lampton. The Bobeda on him. Exelby needed some help. Giving off to Lampton. Spin move coming inside. Dish it low to Elsen. If they play for Elsen, baseline for the last shot.
Well, now with it being under a minute, I think they'll probably look for the last shot. They'll probably be calling a timeout. And Thompson on the sideline. He's up.
45 seconds to play. 35-35 our score.
This is not easy to hold this ball this long against the pressure that they're facing.
The clock is rolling. 30 seconds. Elsen out high.
Worsfold went down there with a sprained ankle. He's hobbling.
Clock rolls to 20 seconds. Elsen and Lampton will play catch at half court. Bobeda will try to shut Lampton down. He gets a pick coming baseline. Needs some help. Look for the shot. It's blocked. And the rebound comes out to DeWitt with 5 seconds. 4 seconds to play. The ball loose at half court to Bobeda. Over and back with 1.6 seconds on the clock. Bobeda came across the timeline and then reversed his dribble and stepped over that line. So 1.6 seconds on the clock, and East Grand Rapids will have the ball. And that could be a very, very costly turnover for DeWitt.
Well, they talk about the fact that it takes you about 4.2 seconds to bring it the length of the court. They're going to get the out of bounds here at the half court stripe. That's probably time enough to make one pass and a quick shot.
Well, one of their big outside scorers is Colin Exelby. He is limping with about a minute left when they were running the stall out top. He just slipped and went to the floor. Looked like twisting that right ankle, and he's limping over there on the sideline now in front of the East Grand Rapids bench.
I called that as being Worsfold, number 42, and it was number 22. And as the play transpired, he was the one that ended up having to take the jump shot. And previous to that, he could barely move. He was trying to find some strength in that ankle.
But Exelby will stay in there. They want him as their outside shooter. Ringing of the hands in the stands. Tied at 35 with 1.6 seconds on the clock. East Grand Rapids with, of course, an outstanding history in football, and Jimmy Gerken, the longtime manager of that football team.
Looks a little bit nervous. Well, East Grand Rapids, they're going to take another timeout and talk about it. 2 consecutively. Now a little bit of discussion with the referee, and East Grand Rapids back to the huddle.
Timeout.
Scott Tompkins wants the timeout.
Pioneer timeout. Their final timeout.
That's their final timeout.
Well, I'm sure Tompkins is designing for them a play that's going to hopefully give him a number of different options. And, you know, he might be throwing the ball high out here to Elsen and then looking for one of his jump shooters on the baseline. He might go to the guard and then look for Elsen low. You know, it's going to be an interesting play to see what he calls here.
How does East Grand Rapids shoot from the outside? Well, 3-point range at 16%.
2 teams, I'm sure that DeWitt, if we look at the stats, that might be the number of attempts, their lowest number of 3-point attempts for the season. Again, showing how tough East Grand Rapids is defensively.
With 1.6 seconds to play in regulation, tied at 35, you're probably not going to get much more than a 3-point attempt.
Who are you going to go to, Ken? What's your call? You're the coach. You're wearing the hat. I think it's Colin Exelby, the kid with the bad ankle.
Colin Exelby averages 11 points a game. Worsfold has also had a great outside game tonight.
What does 1.6 give you? Let's take a look. How about another timeout?
DeWitt timeout, their second.
They learn these strategies from watching Big Ten basketball.
A lot of it. 1.6 seconds stays on the clock, and our score stays at 35. The coaching strategy of Jim Lutzke and Scott Tompkins down in the benches.
Take a look out there on the floor. We've got a young man giving some water to a very thirsty referee.
Junior helpers here throughout the semifinal tournament, and they'll be here tomorrow too.
Water boys take that game seriously.
Many high school seniors will conclude their formal athletic career this year, leaving behind many positive memories, but a growing number of student athletes are stepping from a player's role into an official's role each year through the Michigan High School Athletic Association's Legacy Program. If you're a high school senior, you're eligible to become a game official now so you can continue to take the field for years to come. For more information about the Legacy Program, contact the MHSAA office in East Lansing. That's a public service message from the MHSAA and ABS Sports. East Grand Rapids is out of timeouts.
Eddie Lampton's going to kick it in. He's right in front of us.
No pressure on the ball by DeWitt. They will let Lampton inbound it at half court. And the lob down low. Long for Lampton and out of bounds. No, the clock sounded, but the officials will put time back on the clock.
I think they'll put the entire 1.6 back on the clock. I'm not sure that he was inbounds when he touched it.
Scott Tompkins is not happy on the East Grand Rapids side.
It was that old diversion play. You do strong side over here, and then you run the big guy weak side and look for the alley-oop.
They say the ball was not touched inbounds, so they should put back the 1.6 on the clock.
And that 1.6 gives you an idea that that's not a very long period of time.
So a timeout on the floor, this time called by the DeWitt Panthers. Trying to keep an undefeated season alive at 26-0. East Grand Rapids coming into this one with a 20-5 record. Each team conference champions. East Grand Rapids in the OK or Ottawa-Kent White Conference with a 10-2 conference mark. And the DeWitt Panthers, the champions of the Ingham County League with a 12-0 record. I guess you turn back the other way. Who shoots the ball for you for DeWitt?
Well, you got a number of different options. Robert Bobeda has been good going to the bucket. Jason Kreider, Jay Lights. Lights is so good with the basketball. I think they just might clear it for Lights and see if he can put one up off the dribble.
Does he have a chance to dribble?
Maybe one dribble. I think what we're really going to see is overtime.
We will see Kreider inbound at half court, so we know he's not the man who will take the shot.
We got Lights way over in the left-hand corner. We've got folded hands, a time of prayer.
And Kreider inbounding at the half-court stripe. Wyna on the ball. The inbound goes to Laughlin. The turnaround off the iron won't go, and we're going overtime.
Well, he got the great shot. He struggled all night with the big guy Elsen guarding him, but he broke to the ball beautifully, put up a nice high-arching jumper. I actually thought it was going to go. Elsen smart enough not to make contact and put him on the line, and the call is overtime, and the clock says 4 minutes, 35-35.
We were tied at 19s at halftime, tied at 35 at the end of regulation, and we get set for an extra period here in the state semifinals. The first overtime contest in the 1995 semifinal round.
Ken, you and I have had the opportunity of doing some of these games previously, and we have a knack for getting overtime games.
We'll have one timeout available.
Each team gets one. DeWitt will have 2 timeouts available. East Grand Rapids will have 1 in the overtime period.
Grand Rapids used all of their timeouts during the regulation play. These nets will come down tomorrow as we crown the champions in all 4 classes. And both of these teams battling for the next 4 minutes to see who will be there for the title contest in Class B. 35 is our score at the end of regulation, heading to the overtime period. Vittorini fouling out. Their big 6'6" senior will spend this 4 minutes on the bench watching the play and hoping this is not his last game. He went out early in that fourth quarter with 4 personal fouls. And that's added a lot more playing time for Brian Grant. The tip to start the overtime period goes into the hands of the DeWitt Panthers.
Beeland that time, really off the floor. Big time jump in those legs.
They leave it down low. Beeland needs some help. And the turnover by DeWitt.
Tough way to start it that time. Just an anticipation, and it didn't happen. Expecting him to break baseline.
An offensive assignment in the man-to-man. As Bobeda on Lampton. Cross half court they go. And here comes Worsfold. Back up top to Lampton. 3:25 to play in the overtime. Still tied at 35.
DeWitt's sticking with the man-to-man, not going back to the 2-3.
Elsen, baseline. He's open off the glass and good.
Oh, he barged out of the trap. We had a 2-man trap, but he had his dribble. He just broke through it, stepped through, and went to the bucket, got the hoop.
37-35, East Grand Rapids. Looking for Laughlin inside. Bobeda, see if he becomes the money man here in the overtime. Lights, he's been quiet offensively.
Do a good job of stopping that penetration. If they get by, help defense immediately fills the hole.
He and Lampton have played the entire game. Here's the outside shot, no good for Kreider. And East Grand Rapids has done all night long controlling the boards. Lampton gets through the double team. 2.5 to play. 2-point East Grand Rapids lead in the overtime.
Here they go, running motion.
Worsfold to Lampton.
A lot of low and high picks out there. Down picks and up picks.
Coming into the paint. There's the shot up and no good, but the follow is up and in for Worsfold.
That time Lampton penetrated all the way to the hoop. Didn't have a drop-off pass. Put it up. It wouldn't drop. Offensive rebound and in.
And a 4-point lead for East Grand Rapids. Their low-scoring style playing into their hands.
DeWitt has to respond.
Look for the baseline runner. It's up and it's good.
Casey Laughlin.
He had the chance to win it in regulation. It was just hard off the iron. But now gets the first points in the overtime. Open man at the other end.
That's Brian Grant that time. He's basket hanging against the press, and Elsen just drilled it.
A great pass by the 6'5" junior Elsen to find a 6'3" junior Grant underneath. So a 41-37 lead. Here's Lights for 3 and sticks it.
Light it up, Jay Lights.
A 1-point lead. The ball tipped out of Elsen's hands down on the baseline and almost a steal.
East Grand Rapids hanging on precariously to a 1-point lead with only 1:08 on the clock.
41-40. East Grand Rapids with a lead, and they call a timeout on the floor. As Elsen cannot get it in bounds. That's the only timeout they have here in the overtime period.
Elsen with the mental clock in his head ticking off. When it got to 4, he said it's time for the timeout.
Well, these two teams, well, each team actually averaging much more than they scored tonight. East Grand Rapids, 52 points on the season. DeWitt averaging 74 points on the season. And scoring only 40 so far, and we're in overtime.
East Grand Rapids has a way of doing that to you. Last year against St. Clair Shores, Lake Shores, it was the same situation. We expected in the finals that Lake Shores would, really rack up a high point total. 38-37 with Travis Conlon now playing at the University of Michigan, hitting that bucket on the baseline to win that basketball game.
A lot of nervous anticipation by the players and the fans here at the Breslin Center. 41-40 with 1:08 to play in the overtime period.
The winner of this ball game will go on tomorrow to face the Class B favorite, or the Class B favorite being Detroit Country Day or Stevensville Lakeshore. That game will immediately follow this one tonight.
Both teams in the bonus situation here in the overtime period. And East Grand Rapids 6 of 7, DeWitt 6 of 8. So both pretty good free throw shooting teams.
I think the number of free throws attempted is also very indicative of how this game has been called. It's been a rough physical game.
But not a lot of stoppages.
Yeah, really, they're just letting the kids decide as opposed to the referee's calls deciding the winner. Here's
And
pressure.
East Grand Rapids.
It's a zone press, previously a man press.
Still in the backcourt is East Grand Rapids across the timeline to Elsen.
He's
Bobeda on the ball.
Such a help against that press. You might have to follow them. They're going to run some time off the clock.
Here comes Lamson with a penetration. Now down to Elsen baseline. 42 seconds to play. Clock rolls.
When do you
see
foul?
it on your screen.
I think you got to foul at about 30 seconds.
Let's see if they do. Lights almost takes it away from Lampton. Now to Elsen. Bobeda goes after him. Clock rolls. Under 30 seconds. And there's the bump out high.
Got the foul at 26.
Colin Exelby to the charity stripe to shoot the 1-and-1 for East Grand Rapids. And a 1-point lead for East Grand Rapids, 41-40.
Bonus on for East Grand Rapids at the line. Exelby.
Nervous anticipation for both of these coaches. East Grand Rapids without timeouts.
Tompkins has got to feel happy as he watched Exelby go to the line. His kid shoots 77% from the line on the year. The crowd is up.
And it's good.
With the confidence of Sean Respert. Sticks him.
42-40. Colin Exelby.
This is important because this, if he makes it, would force DeWitt to look for the three.
The second one up also good. And a very young East Grand Rapids team. Exelby is only a junior. He nails them both, and a 3-point lead for East Grand Rapids.
And now DeWitt's looking at the situation where they've got to look for the perimeter shot. I don't think it's a situation where you can look for two. I think you got to set the pick on the perimeter and look for the three.
26 seconds in the overtime.
Jay Lights on the dribble.
And immediately across the half-court stripe, and a timeout called on the floor. 21.4 seconds on the clock, and a 3-point lead for East Grand Rapids, 43-40.
So much strategy involved.
Tied at 19s at halftime.
Even the mascot's getting tired. The Pioneer mascot there with the Davy Crockett hat on. He had to sit down. Couldn't handle the stress. And the Panther mark on the cheek.
Michigan High School Athletic Association Class B tournament.
Cameramen know how to find those Panther marks. A lot of those cameramen are young single adults, so they're looking for the pretty girls. And speaking of pretty girls, there's a young lady with a John Deere hat on backwards. Oh, she's looking through the holes. Isn't that exciting? Young lady, you're might be a hat trick.
A hockey hat trick, that's right.
Oh, she's having fun. Dad's a little nervous, but she's having a great time. Dad will have to tell her what happened in this one because she's not going to know.
21 seconds on the clock. DeWitt will have the ball at half court, trailing by 3.
You can take a look there at the three-point stats, and DeWitt's are all important. Only 2 of 11, but they need this one.
Clock rolls.
Setting their picks high. Here we go.
Lights stop there. They go up top. Laughlin has to hand it back off. Lights, long range 3, off the mark, no good, but the rebound to DeWitt. Back to Lights, looks for some help, needs some help, goes out to Bobeda. The shot is off the mark, down to 2 seconds, 1 second, and East Grand Rapids is going back to the final game. Coming up tomorrow at the Breslin Center in East Lansing as they defeat DeWitt and hand the Panthers their first loss of the season, 43-40 in overtime.
And one team showing the jubilation of victory, and the other team right now devastated with the emotions of a loss. But they're going to feel good about a great season. These DeWitt Panthers are an outstanding ball club. They got 2 shot attempts. They're late from 3-point range. Just couldn't get it to drop. And once again, we see East Grand Rapids with their deliberate, excellent defense, a style uncharacteristic of a lot of teams of this day and age, winning. They execute to perfection. They've been here 2 years in a row. They're going right back to the finals, Ken.
And what sportsmanship is all about. At half court, the teams exchanging hands.
And the fans are going crazy from East Grand Rapids down there.
The second year in a row, East Grand Rapids is headed back to the state finals. Last year coming up short against St. Clair Shores Shorians. They hope to come home with a trophy coming up tomorrow.
But we were privileged to do a great basketball game. A basketball game probably characterized by more of intensity on defense than it was offensive standouts. But both teams executed well, and of course the fact that it went to overtime. We love the excitement, and we love bringing it to you.
In overtime, East Grand Rapids, the Pioneers, defeat the DeWitt Panthers 43-40. For our entire production crew, we appreciate their help tonight. And for my partner at the microphone, Mike Bodkins, I'm Ken Delaney. Have a good evening, everyone.